system.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Season 6, Episode 17 of the phenomenon known to wrestling mankind, a Saturday afternoon's main event. If you do not know who I am after 2 weeks of not being here, I suppose you go back to school, go into your library, get the biggest dictionary you can find, preferably Merriam-Webster, and look me up under the word phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the phenomenal one, and of course here on Saturday afternoon's main event, I'm never alone. Why? Because I have my tag team partner, my fellow comrade, my brother in arms, the limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun who is not having a hard time holding his alligators down. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, give me 2 claps and a peep snatch.
Woo! Yes, we are here once again. Another interesting week, or 2 weeks, if you will, in the world of pro wrestling. So the Deep Voice Dynamo and my partner are going to be here once again to bring you everything you need to know, everything you probably don't know, things that you do know, and maybe opinions that you probably share with us or may differ from us. But whatever it is, we're here for it.
Of course. So without further ado, guys, thank you for going ahead and tuning in on whether it be Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, or if you follow us on Instagram and you're tuning in for the first time, we welcome you, peeps. Do you know that we are literally 15 followers away from hitting 1,000 followers on Instagram? We've been working, baby. We've been working.
Putting in that work.
Yes, sir. So we appreciate all of you guys. We thank you guys. It's been a wild ride so far, and we continue to ride till the wheels fall off. So we're just here to give you guys what we know we are able to give you. Laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. So, peeps, should we begin?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, no problem. So, guys, first and foremost, when you hear this, okay, yeah, I think we hear the same thing, peeps. Okay, guys, it is time for Wrestling Crash Course.
Yes.
First and foremost, guys, let's just go ahead and put it like this, okay? Let's just put it like this. It's been wild. It's been crazy to say the least. But for some reason, I think we have to go ahead and get into this because it's big. It's really big news, okay? AEW, their revenue is up, guys. Like solidly saying, yes, their revenue's up. Like their revenue is up. See Tony Khan on the back here. Up 175 million, right, peeps, throughout the whole year.
Okay.
Amazing. That's great. That's for a pissant wrestling company. That is amazing. I don't blame it.
Yes.
Do we know what the profits are?
No, we don't.
Do we think the profits are lower than what we think the revenue is? Hopefully.
Well, if the profits are actually at least $1 higher than what their revenue is, then they should be happy. But if it's, underneath, then they may have some issues.
Well, peeps, I mean, we don't know yet. It doesn't seem like they want to drop that number out.
I wonder why.
Maybe because they are low?
Yeah, maybe.
Not to hate on them.
Maybe what they can do is, if they do make a profit, they can take that profit and put it into ice cream bars. That's a big market. A really big market if you're thinking, I like ice cream bars. You like ice cream bars. We all like ice cream bars. So why don't we do that?
I'm more of a Pepsi kind of guy, peeps, but okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
I think you guys
Although Pepsi and ice cream, That would make a nice ice cream float, though.
That's
Ice cream and
amazing ice cream. Like screw Coke. Pepsi's better. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, Pepsi
Yes.
and ice. Yo, forget it.
There you go.
Chiefs,
There you go.
we work as great business partners. We should add a third person. You say, huh?
Yes. There you go.
Maybe he could be our voice.
Yes. Maybe.
Maybe. You know what? From there, guys, it's okay because revenue's up. It's been, a good year for AEW with the pay-per-views. Of course,
All things given. Yes.
That too. But I mean,
yes.
Full Gear, A1. We didn't get to talk about our review for Full Gear, of course, because that would have been last week. But I mean, Jesus Christ. Match of the night, death match. I'm calling it right now. That has to be match of the night, match of the year contender for me. Swerve, if he's not world champion by next year, screw the company. just saying that now.
Yes.
That's honestly me. But
yes.
from one side of AEW, we see that revenue's up. To another side, somebody's presumably leaving. And it's not presumably, it's happening. QT Marshall has resigned from AEW. Peeps. What the heck? Like how?
Yes.
How?
Yeah.
The one guy who we thought would actually stay. QT Marshall. A guy brought in from the Nightmare Factory, of course. A big help to Cody Rhodes in his wrestling school. A big help behind the scenes as a producer for All Elite Wrestling when it comes to certain matches, whether it be on Dark, whether it be on Rampage, whether it be on Dynamite. QT Marshall has been there from the genesis of AEW. So why is he leaving?
That's a good question. I have an idea of what I think may be the case, unless he revealed it. He probably doesn't like the direction that the company is going, even though revenue is up.
That's exactly what it is, peeps.
Hmm.
That's exactly what it is. What the heck? Oh, God.
There you go.
God. Peeps, are we really? This is 2023.
Yeah.
Why are we still dealing with this in the world of AEW? Like,
Yes.
Why? There's no need for this. But, damn it. What else we're hearing is that there are people on the dark side that are pushing for him to come over, jump ship. I don't know, peeps. I just don't know, because this seems like it's resemblant to a certain nightmare that AEW had suffered back in 2020, in 2021, up until 2022.
Yeah.
And of course, that nightmare jumped ship, and it's currently an American dream over there, but now
that's trying to finish its own story.
Yeah.
Go figure.
God. Us with these incomparable zings today. I can't.
Yes.
But
yes.
Peeps, do we see QT Marshall on the other side? That's the real question.
Well, if he does go to the WWE, which I think a lot of people are probably thinking he may do, I think it would be more along the lines of not necessarily being on television doing a lot of things. I think it would mostly be to kind of help Cody and his school, maybe bring some other guys in, and maybe work with wrestlers in NXT. So he would be a really good trainer. And I think if you bring him in to teach the young guys, because if you remember, the knock on a lot of the wrestlers in AEW were that they would not listen to veterans because they thought in their mind, I don't need your advice. Yeah, so somebody of QT Marshall's experience, who's also running a wrestling school in conjunction with Cody Rhodes, could definitely help out the young guys in NXT, because NXT has a lot of very young talent. The ones that are either seasoned enough on television or are just about ready to be shown on NXT television. He can help them out a lot. So I think that would be a valuable key to put on their keychain if they do decide to go ahead and move over to the WWE.
Definitely so. From there, we move to the world of the dead or undead. I don't know how the heck we got to that. But
yeah, that's a really weird segue.
Guys. As you may know, The Undertaker now is a podcaster. Never thought I'd say this in the world of professional wrestling.
Yes,
but,
he's in our realm now.
Exactly. Crazy enough. But somehow, he's been dropping a lot of good content, that I can say. And of course, we've heard from countless stories of him having a bunk with the Iron Sheik, to him going ahead and giving his wrestling Mount Rushmore of managers and his real Mount Rushmore. And then, of course, talking about how he feels as if Goldust should be in the Hall of Fame. Yo, The Undertaker's really doing it. Mark Calloway is something else. A crazy enigma. But this past week, he had also dropped a video about his Mount Rushmore of short wrestlers, and he added a familiar name to it. He said these 4 names, and I'm going to give the name that was familiar at the end. He said Kurt Angle, which was a good one. That one was great. Peeps, do you know another one that he said?
I do recall him saying Eddie Guerrero.
That's another one. We're solid. We're on the money with this, Peeps.
Okay.
Shocking enough, this man did not say Rey Mysterio, which was shocking to me because I was just like, Jesus Christ, how could you not say Rey? Rey is Rey.
He may still harbor some ill feelings after Rey Mysterio broke his nose a few years ago, so maybe he's holding that against him.
Shouldn't he hold that against Mabel? Can't we just be honest here?
I agree.
Like, it should be Mabel. I'm just saying, like, geez. Peeps, do we remember another one?
You throw out the other 2 because I think that they are very interesting. Very interesting.
This is gonna be, guys. Okay, please don't go ahead and throw no shade. Don't go in here and saying, "Oh my God, Phenomenal One is making this up." Jeez. Oh God, I don't know how I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Okay. Guys, he then went ahead and said AJ Styles, which was a good one. Okay.
Yes.
Oh God, let me just throw the picture out here. Okay, screw it. I think you see the picture in the back and who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Mark Calloway, a man that I idolize so much. He points out and says that one of the greatest short wrestlers that is on his Mount Rushmore is none other than the Canadian Crippler, the Rabid Wolverine, Chris Benoit. Never in a million years. Look, Peeps, we hear WWE say you can't mention Chris Benoit. That's like the cardinal sin of Hall of Famers going into the Hall of Fame and thanking Vince McMahon.
Yes.
This is
like
The Undertaker.
Yes.
Benoit.
And you know why he mentioned him? Because he's the Undertaker.
Yes.
And let's really be honest, he's no longer associated on a full-time basis with the WWE anymore. He's more or less kind of like a wrestler emeritus, so to speak, where he can come in, give advice, maybe show up to a show, maybe talk to the guys like, "Oh, I'd like to show up at this show just to come out and promote my stand-up," or just to put another guy over by giving him the rub with him being here with me just for one incident, like when he showed up on NXT, something like that. But to hear that list, knowing what the controversy from either side of the wrestling argument would be for Chris Benoit, I mean, in the extent that you sometimes can't even say his name without drawing the ire of the wrestling community. But to pull away what he's done outside of the ring for what he did in the ring, from him starting wrestling in, I believe 88, 87, 88 is around the time when Benoit started and got into the wrestling business, to when the unfortunate incident happened that ended his life in 2007. Most people that know Chris Benoit know what he could do in the ring. And to have somebody at his size do what he did, who, as far as I'm concerned, and I've said this before, Chris Benoit was a walking silhouette of the Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billingsley. Looked exactly like him, walked like him, same physique, and obviously patterned himself after him. Ironically, a lot of parallels between the two of them. But outside of the negative aspect of it, the surprising part is that anybody on the Undertaker's level publicly gave credit to Chris Benoit after all of the negativity that we've seen going forward.
Which is crazy. That was insane to me. But you know what? We take it. We're still shocked, but I mean, hey, listen, this is what we get to hear. But hey, I'm cool with it. We have somebody in the chat here off of Twitch. It seems like he's new. His name is Diggs BTW7. He's like, hey, what's up, G? Listen, what's good? What's going on? Welcome to Saturday Afternoon's main event, man.
Yes.
Welcome. So from here, we move to the next topic here on Wrestling Crash Course, and it presumes to be the last topic. Mackenzie Mitchell has been released by WWE alongside a couple of other names and EVPs and senior vice presidents. Yeah, she has been released. Crazy enough, peeps. Of course, if you watch NXT, guys, you're big onto what she does as a backstage interviewer / announcer, whatever you may call it. Peeps, this is kind of a big loss.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. She went on Twitter and talked about the fact that she was released. She said she met her husband, which most people may know about, but it's the play-by-play announcer for NXT, Vic Joseph. They've been a couple for quite some time. They've been married for, I believe, 5 years, 4 years, something like that. They recently got married. So they've been a couple. And I think a lot of people kind of put them both on the same aspect of, well, Vic Joseph is here. Mackenzie is here doing the interviews, and she's well known. She's been in NXT for quite some time, and she's a familiar face and a familiar voice to those that are watching. But to see her gone now, it goes to show you WWE continues to move in a different way. So that's how it is.
Yup. Oh God, jeez. What have we gone through, peeps? This has been a crazy year. Oh, and something else that we forgot to add, guys. Somehow, Dixie Carter can actually be backstage at a WWE event. What the heck?
Yes.
What the heck, peeps? Gosh. So look, guys, all in the span of a week, okay? This has happened all in the span of a week. But on top of that, Dixie Carter has shown up. Sonny has gotten 17 years in prison.
Yes.
You can't make this up. 2023 has been different.
Yes.
But, of course, as I said, this marks the end of, Wrestling Crash Course. So if you guys want to follow up with anything else that we might have when it comes to pro wrestling, all you got to do is follow us on Instagram at Saturday Afternoons_main event or on Twitter at Saturday Main. But guys, as I said, 2023 has been wild. Okay?
Yes.
Crazily enough, things have happened that we never thought would happen. Tammy Sidge going to prison would be one of them, although we think she could have gotten a much more larger sentence.
Oh, she got off light as far as I'm concerned.
She got off light. Yeah, she got off light.
Yes.
Definitely so, peeps. But yeah.
I've heard that music before.
Oh! How can I forget? I forget?
Yeah.
The one person that I forgot to mention.
Oh, yes.
Which ties into our next topic here on Same. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I told you so. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't want to hear the bickering. I don't want to hear the, oh my God, Phenomenal One was wrong. This, that, and I was right. Once again, I stand corrected. CM Punk is back. Peeps.
Yes.
Peeps.
I will give you your flowers now, because you did say it was going to happen. There were way too many hints going in, too many things being said by other wrestlers on television. And in all reality, CM Punk kind of really let you know about it 2 months ago when he said, I'll see you. When he was asked,
2 months.
Yes, come back to me in 2 months.
Yeah, come back to me in 2 months. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So here we are in all its glory.
Yes.
CM Punk makes his return at Survivor Series War Games.
Yes.
To a sold-out crowd at Allstate Arena.
Yes.
An arena that is synonymous with his career and things that he has done.
Yes.
He's back.
Yes, he is. And I'm going to put the caveat on this. It took from 2014, where CM Punk was pretty much done with the WWE, after the firing and after the headaches and after all of the things that happened, him leaving the company, being dormant for about 8 years, then being brought back into the fold to go to AEW, a company that showed it was trying to compete, not only compete, but to get the mindscape of the wrestling fan off of what was stagnating in the WWE, to bring that company up. And then for him to detonate another landmine there, you know what it took for this to happen? It took
real glass, Crimea River. That's what it took.
Yes, it took Tony Khan to literally accelerate the relationship mending after the bridges that were burned by CM Punk years ago. It took Tony Khan, whether directly or indirectly, to help mend the burning bridge for him to go back to the competition that, if I'm not mistaken, I remember CM Punk saying on AEW television, why would I go to a place and compete in a place that made me sick in the first place? The same CM Punk that went on television and basically said, you know what? I don't think I could go into that place and stay there. The same CM Punk that did promos talking about that the WWE would be well if Vince McMahon passed away. But it wouldn't because
it's taken over by his idiotic son.
His doofus son-in-law. Where the expression was his, what did he call Stephanie? He said, clueless, idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law.
And the rest of his stupid family.
Yes. Christ. Lo and behold, we fast forward now to 2023. The doofus son-in-law is running creative. The daughter isn't part of the company anymore. And Vince McMahon is basically in his room in his own personal money bin swimming through millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. That's literally all he's doing right now. He's being a primetime player in his own mind, while CM Punk has basically taken all of the momentum that was in AEW, punched him in the gut, stole their oxygen, put it in a tank, and took it with him to the WWE. And that's basically what happened, in a nutshell.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes.
Peeps.
Bizarro world.
Taekwon. Peeps scored when he saw Punk. Peeps returning to the plantation. Why would I go back to a place that made me sick? God have mercy. We're starting.
Yeah.
We're starting.
Yes. I'm telling you, Punk is going to have a lot of these kinds of comments thrown at him. Think about that.
But Peeps, this is what makes it even crazier, Peeps. We know we've seen plenty of videos already.
Yes.
Of people marking out, people losing their crap, the fans that have literally went ahead and taken it upon themselves as AEW fans who live in their mother's basement and haven't seen a working uterus in the past 20 years of their life.
Yes.
They've gone to burning CM Punk merch as if they were Cleveland Cavalier fans when LeBron left to Miami.
Yeah. He took his talents up north to Stamford, Connecticut. That's what he did.
I can only imagine the decision part 5.
Yes.
Punk, where are you going? Oh, well, this fall, I'm going to go ahead and take my talents to Titan Towers and rejoin the WWE.
Yes.
all you see is Jacksonville burning to shreds.
Yes.
Peeps. But here's the thing. His first promo back wasn't even a pipe bomb.
Yes.
The man just stated, look, I'm going to say some words now, and look, if you guys don't agree with me, I can understand. I don't know how true you guys may think they are, but honestly, coming from me, I'm telling you the truth, that it is true. I'm home. And I've changed.
Yeah.
No, Punk, you sold out. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear none of that. You sold out, okay? There ain't no such thing as I've changed. If you changed, you sold out. Let's just be for real here.
So basically what you're saying is Charles Montgomery became PG Punk in that one promo.
Yes, PG. He is now what he hates. He is
Yes.
now the New York Yankees. Okay, peeps. The man is no longer. It is no longer the voice of the. Listen, I still think there is a little bit of him left in there, but I think there is now structure to it.
Yes.
If you recalled what was said when Triple H had the press conference, this man sat here and said exactly these words. He said, "Look, if you think that somebody 10 years ago would be the same person they are now, you've got it all wrong. I've changed, he's changed, and it's a different company." So, peeps, all I'm saying is that there is no tension with Triple H, presumably now. Probably no tension with Vince McMahon due to the fact that he's not running the ship anymore. And he is finally away from all of the toxicity that was in AEW that made him want to leave. Right?
Yes.
So, peeps, why is it that we already have works? Literally a weekend, we already have works. And yes, guys, if you think that I'm talking about works, I'm talking about Seth Rollins, okay? Yes. Guys, if you watch the videos that have taken place inside the Allstate Arena, you would know that Seth Rollins is out here throwing F-bombs, saying that if he catches CM Punk backstage, he will F him up. This, that, and the third. Peeps, I can already smell it.
Yes.
The main event of WrestleMania Night 1. Seth Rollins, CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title. Peeps, listen. Yeah. Listen. That's it right there. You want to sell WrestleMania Night 1? You already got it. That's it right there. Peeps, I can't imagine WrestleMania not being sold out this time. I don't. You've heard me over the last few years use Bizarro World as what we've been going through as wrestling fans. I want you to think about this. In the last, I'd say 18 months, we've gone from AEW was about to bankrupt the WWE to CM Punk is going to bankrupt AEW to, wow, WrestleMania might be bookended by a WWE champion and a WWE champion and two former AEW wrestlers main eventing at WrestleMania. That is the potential that we're looking at. That it may not be booked in stone yet, but I tell you right now, that's kind of the feeling that a lot of people get. And I hope if the WWE has a Bible, so to speak, as to the structure of what they wanted to do with a lot of their storylines, I hope it didn't completely change just because CM Punk is in the mix. But we all know if you throw a pebble in water, you will actually get ripples, but eventually those ripples self-correct and everything goes back to normal. Is CM Punk the pebble, or is he the ripple, or is he just going to be part of the water calming down? Because eventually there's going to be a result that they've worked on that they've been talking about for years and years, and a potential end maybe to a certain storyline, the beginning of one, or maybe adding something to it. Well, remember, when we talked about the bloodline, we talked about how Sami Zayn was never really initially supposed to be part of this. And that added to the storyline. It didn't change the result of the ending of that particular storyline, but it did have that ripple effect that somebody threw a pebble in. Sami Zayn was the pebble, but everything still self-corrected. What we got out of it was Night 1's main event being a tag team championship match at WrestleMania last year. We honestly thought it could have been Ripley versus Flair, but
and that was what we were championing for about a month. Yeah. Until this part of the storyline changed. Now that we've gotten to where we're at, we have a whole new set of, as most people like to say what Tony Khan has, we have brand new toys in the toy box to play with. How are we going to use that? What are we going to do going forward? And hopefully that doesn't change the discussion as we talk about the Survivor Series. But in response to CM Punk being here, like I would think about that. It took CM Punk's relationship with Tony Khan deteriorating to that extent that led him to saying, I want out of here. With all of the nonsense that happened with the Elite, with all of the stuff that happened at Brawl Out, all of the things that happened subsequently afterwards, and then to say, as a wrestler, you don't want to work with me, so I'm going to have an entire 2-hour block of programming on a Saturday night that I have somewhat free reign over as far as some booking and quality control to placate me, just to keep me away from the Elite. And that didn't even work. So go figure.
Peeps, it's crazy enough when you put it like that. Because, yeah, it took all of that. But here's what makes it even crazier. Something tells me Punk knew he was going to leave. Punk knew he was going to come back at some point. Because, look, if you remember prior to All In, prior to even starting up Collision, they found a man at the All-State Arena for a Monday Night Raw backstage.
Ironically,
said that he mended fences with Triple H, with The Miz, and countless.
I think The Miz was the first person that he saw in the locker room before he ended up meeting Triple H.
Yup.
So,
and only because Vince didn't want any legal action taken, after finding out about it, he just ordered Punk to leave in a nice way. So it's like, in the end, we know that it was going to happen. But from what we're hearing now, it's like we're hearing that Punk and Triple H had like a 1-hour conversation a week prior to Survivor Series. They didn't sign this contract until somehow, some way, Punk miraculously just drives up to the arena while War Games is going on. Main event in full effect. Orton's probably already out. Triple H orders everybody to move out of a specific area where Punk was going to walk through. Has Punk walk up, enter into Gorilla. Everybody's like, what the f are you doing here? See, I had to say, because I couldn't go ahead and fully say it. It's a family channel.
It's a family show. Yes.
Yeah, it's a family show.
Yes.
Then proceeds to tell everybody at the truck, guys, you cult of personality in CM Punk's Titantron. Out of nowhere, it happens. All put together within a span of a week. Because why? Because Jack Perry wanted to be an a-hole. Because Punk was tired of working with children. Because why? Oh, funny enough, he got to do a victory lap as well. Wonder where I saw that before. Crazy enough. Good times. But peeps, that's what I'm saying. But Punk said something in his promo, and this is the only thing that caught my attention because this was the most realist out of everything.
Yes.
He said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Yes. And you know where he got that line from. Good old Scott Hall said that years ago. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Money. Exact. So, peeps, look. Honestly, man, if only I had these things with me, I would have been oozing with Cheeseball right now. Just,
yes, there you go.
But yes, that's what I'm saying, peeps. It's like the tide has changed, and with him saying that, we know where it's going. They're saying it's a 3-year deal. If it's 3 years, then peeps, look, you have enough time to mend fences. Make the most money you possibly can. Main event WrestleMania in your first year. That's the one thing that you said that you haven't done that you want to do. Now's a chance to do it this year. You do that, probably one little world title reign. Maybe so. If you don't want to go that route, maybe have him go ahead and win the, I think the United States title, because I don't think he's won that yet. And then make him a Grand Slam champion.
That could work.
Once he's done with that, peeps, just have him go ahead and continue to prepare for the next generation. Probably, put people over and then have his final match against somebody who he wants to have his final match against. And then go into the Hall of Fame the year after.
But I do see on the horizon, it's not going to happen anytime soon, I don't think. But they're building I think there's going to be a Roman Reigns CM Punk match.
Definitely.
It's definitely
Roman Reigns,
not going to happen anytime soon because
that's what
that
it is,
is a story you build. That's something that you build for the long haul.
There is no title needed for this. There is no title needed for this at all. But peeps, you know what I think it's gonna be? I think it's gonna be SummerSlam.
Let's see.
I think it's gonna be SummerSlam, or maybe even sooner than that. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk's in a Paul Heyman on a forklift match for the possession of Paul Heyman.
And you want to know something? If we get to the point, and this is just amateur booking hour here, if we're looking at what they could do, this is depending on if it's still set in stone for what they want to do for Roman Reigns. Because I'm still convinced that to some degree, Roman is going to stay champion after WrestleMania. I have this weird feeling that they're going to have him hold onto this belt and take over as at least the second longest reigning WWE champion in history. For those that don't know, it is actually Bob Backlund who's been champion for 5 years. For whatever reason, the WWE has actually acted like that title reign didn't exist. Because they're saying, well, the next person to overcome is Hulk Hogan, and he was champion 4 years and change. And then completely forgot about Bob Backlund had the belt over 5 years. But I digress. Here's your first one. Look how long it was in the show. First one of the day, 36 minutes in. Okay, so there we go. What I think is going to happen, and this is something as, like I said, amateur booker. At some point, if you noticed, during that same promo on Raw, he, being CM Punk, spoke about a certain wise man told me, for me to get what I want out of this business, I would have to leave to make them want me again before I was able to come back. And I would not be surprised if at some point there is some duality in this. The duality in, first of all, we know the bloodline is pretty much crumbling. It has been crumbling for quite some time. And that storyline is kind of on, I wouldn't say life support, but it's mostly held up because of the ancillary characters that are within the storyline. What if they're trying to flip Roman as a face by having CM Punk finally take off the veil of, oh, I'm home and I love you fans and everything else, and turn CM Punk into what he is better than, and that is as a heel. And have the wise man who's been an advocate for the Big Show, he's been an advocate for Brock Lesnar. We know he's an advocate.
Cesaro. I mean, for
yes, he was an advocate for Malachi Black. So we know what could happen if that's the case, and have the bloodline literally get tired of Roman. We're sick of you. You're really not the tribal chief. And Paul Heyman, knowing that, sees Punk as a better advocate to advocate for. Everybody's turned on him. And then have Roman become a face, which would then start a feud with CM Punk over how the wise man treated him. Because if you remember, there are story beats they can go back to that would actually make sense as to why Paul Heyman would turn on Roman. And if you remember, he beat him up. If you remember, that time when he almost broke his arm, had him jumped. Oh, you're my tribal chief. He's treated everybody in the bloodline like garbage at some point. And then they could always say, you're not the tribal chief. Who would be the person that they would go to? Would it be Rikishi? Would it be The Rock? Somebody in that family that would literally look at him and he would be cast aside. He's not part of the bloodline. Nobody wants you. And here's Paul Heyman standing here with CM Punk telling him, you're not the guy you thought you were.
Peace. Sign us the booking. Have mercy.
There you go.
Honestly, for me, I look at it this way. And I'm honestly speaking from the heart. If we're going to go that route, peeps, if we're really going to go that route.
Yes.
I say this is where you have Cody turn heel. If you were to go that route, This is where you have Cody turn heel. Or if you want to go ahead and continue to have Roman stay healed, it's fine too. Because look, the minute the bloodline start to go ahead and lose out on feeling and saying, you know what, screw it. We don't want to go ahead and side by you. All Roman will have left is the wise man. Move around to Punk. Punk's just like, you know what? Honestly, I'm just going to keep it $150. It doesn't just fit right. And Punk knows there's unfinished business with Heyman due to the fact that when Punk had left and people were expecting Punk to be on that Raw, you remember what happened, peeps?
Yes.
Cult of Personality plays and Paul Heyman comes out instead and drops a promo for CM Punk saying to the fans that CM Punk left because of them. Punk's on SmackDown next week.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine how
Yes.
social media breaks when
Yes.
the two come face to face? Peeps, we start building. We start planting seeds. That's the only way it can possibly work. That's just
Yes.
how I see it. There's so much to unpack. But you know what? Punk said it at AEW Rampage during the first dance. There's so much to unpack, and we're not going to get to all of it now. But
Yes.
you know what? We will, because I got time.
Yes.
There's 3 years on the clock, peeps. We got more than enough time.
Yeah.
And
About
judging by
3
my
years.
watch, it's clobbering time.
There you go.
Exactly.
There
right.
you go.
So, without further ado, this marks the end to the first half of Same. When we come back, we'll get into the questions, and then from the questions, we'll get into the last topic for today, which is the review to War Games. So stay tuned. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, because the second half of Saturday afternoon's main event is coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Season 6, Episode 17 of the phenomenon known to all as Saturday afternoon's main event. Of course, it's the phenomenal one, right by the peeps Nate. We will go ahead and get into our questions for now. Of course, you know, if you want to send in a question, all you got to do is just one thing and one thing only. DM us on Instagram at Saturday afternoons_main event. Send in a question, I guarantee, in the words of JBL, that it will be featured on the next episode of the show. So, look, before we get into the questions, we have a couple of things here. Funny. Crazy. Okay. Hot Rod. Why do we care or hate Punk so much? Is he the wrestling god or something? I mean, he is the... How can I put this? He is a revolutionary. He is a visionary.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Boy, you're going to get in so much trouble.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yes, he is a visionary, a revolutionary, an icon, voice of the voiceless, the whole damn show. Sometimes, yeah, you can't say that. Needle mover. Yeah.
But one thing he is not is a devil.
Peeps,
Zing!
What's up with us today? Yo, we're on the money, man.
There you go.
Gosh.
Uh,
Oh, gosh. Speed up, Zid. Welcome, man. He says 3C soon. What's going on with you? Okay, what do you mean?
okay.
Okay. I'll know that 3C soon. I know what 4C is because I drank 4C as a kid, but I don't know what the peeps. What the heck is a 3? You know what?
I have no idea.
I digress.
Wait, well, there you go. There's a second one right there.
Yeah, gosh. That's mercy.
There we go.
So when we come to the questions, of course, first and foremost comes from Master Sean 007. He says, "Greetings, gentlemen. In the immortal words of cue my Bret Hart saying, Bill Goldberg.
Okay.
Who's next? Who is next to follow CM Punk to the WWE? And can Tony Khan stop them from leaving? Two of my guesses are Wardlow and Ricky Starks. Thoughts?" Now look.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Now look.
Well, I have a wild card of somebody that's not in the company that I'll throw out after you give your answer, and that'll be what I'm thinking. So
That's not in the company.
that's not in the company right now.
That's not in AEW?
That's not in AEW. That's my thought of what I think may happen at some point to go to WWE. That's just me. But you go on ahead, and I'll hear what your thoughts are with this one.
So, following CM Punk, right? So, look, everybody's actually following Cody Rhodes if we're being honest here.
Yes.
Since Cody Rhodes has made his return, you've had Jade Cargill and now CM Punk. Well, actually, no, let's backtrack. We've had Jade Cargill, Brian Pillman, and CM Punk.
Yes.
Peeps, honestly speaking, at any given moment, I wouldn't reckon that I can see Ricky Starks, a good friend of Cody Rhodes. He's been backstage at the Rumble that caused major rumblings that, that did it.
And actually, Ricky Starks is Jade Cargill's best friend in AEW. Exactly. As a matter of fact, they've both stated that in different Twitter posts. So we know how close they are as friends.
So the connections are there. Yes, the connections are there. So Ricky Starks is one of them. Wardlow, I can see that. Big man, listen, the company loves to see big men like that doing incomparable things. Wardlow reminds me of Brock Lesnar back in OVW when he used to be famous for being a high flyer at his weight group, doing a shooting star press. Wardlow can do a swanton bomb. Holy crap. Wardlow is built for the WWE. You can totally see it happening if it comes to it. Enough of the MJF BS. I'm not going to see MJF's not leaving, okay? He's not. He's not. I'm not seeing that happen. But when Peep says people that are not in the company, I have two names. The first name, Kazuchika Okada. How crazy, Peeps, for me to go ahead and say a name like that.
There you go.
In accordance with WWE. It's crazy.
Yes.
But if we're looking about how Hunter wants to present Japanese wrestling more into the WWE, adding names like Kairi Sane, Asuka, Shinsuke, hearing that there's rumblings about adding Julia, who is at Stardom.
Yes.
To the WWE. Peeps, can you imagine?
Imagine?
The heck?
Yes. For those that have not seen Julia, she is a star. Oh. You definitely need to see. Yes.
Made. Yes. Okay. She has it made. So to hear her and WWE in the same sentence, it doesn't make sense. I feel like Vince McMahon when Ric Flair had said, I'm the connoisseur and that makes us partners, and he starts going ahead and doing the thing, and he's just like, that's me right now when you go ahead and mention Julia in WWE. But I don't say that yet. Maybe sooner or later, but I'm not saying for me now. So yes, Okada make perfect sense. Yes, the Rainmaker. Yes. But aside from that, I see a return. Peeps, I see a return. And you know what? Not only is it speaking star power, it's speaking money.
And you know what? I think you're exactly where I was headed.
Peeps, Sasha Banks back in the WWE.
That was my thought process.
Punk back. Jake Cargill over there. You got Cody. Peeps, the writing's on the wall. You really think she's going to want to go ahead and go to AEW at this point? Nah, she's gonna finish off in New Japan and then she's gonna make her way over here.
Yeah,
that's Peeps. So you see, we both on the same page.
It
makes a total sense.
Yes,
understandably so. That's just me. So I think we've answered Master Sean 007's question, right?
Yes, and I think when it comes to Mercedes Moné, here's the reason why I think that she's gonna go back to WWE at some point. The thought process is, she's been gone from WWE now over a year. Naomi's left. She's now an Impact Knockouts champion. We know what she can do. She's happy where she's at right now. And that still wouldn't preclude her from saying, I might go back to WWE at some point. Her husband is in the WWE. Maybe she feels similar to CM Punk, that she had to leave to get what she needed out of the business to be appreciated enough to come back. So I can see her down the road coming back to WWE in some capacity.
Yeah.
But Sasha Banks coming back makes sense. And here's why. As many times as we've seen Mercedes in the crowd at All In London, when she showed herself at Forbidden Door in the crowd, we saw she was going to potentially go and wrestle in AEW at some point, and then she got hurt. She seems to be healed up enough now where it's like, okay, I can get back in the ring, I can do what I need to do, but we still haven't heard a whole lot. Then you look at the AEW roster and you look at the women's division and you look at the state that it's in as far as the attention or lack thereof that it's getting. Thunder Rosa hasn't been on television since she walked into Tony Khan's locker room on TV a few months ago. And that's the last we've really seen of her.
At this point, I'm honestly going to say, guys, Tony Khan's the next Harvey Weinstein. Because how does Thunder Rosa enter into an office and never return? I'm just being
wow, I wasn't gonna go there.
Listen,
she went into an entire. She went into the Phantom Zone.
I need to speak to Daddy Khan. Then you enter in, and then you're nowhere to be found. That's just the wrong way to get off TV.
It's just odd, and to see how the wrestling promotion has. I like what they're doing with Kris Statlander, where they're presenting her in a way which is, although she did lose the TBS championship to Julia Hart deserved the championship, as we've talked about on this show. There are positives in the women's division, but they don't promote it the way it should. Yeah. Dr. Britt Baker hasn't been on television in God knows how long. She hasn't been used.
Right now, and I'm hearing negative things right now, which is even
crazy. To the extent that I have had a couple of friends of mine actually think that she was the devil that they're doing the storyline in AEW. That's to show you how far the storyline has gotten with certain characters in AEW. Mm-hmm. Ruby Soho, that whole thing fell apart. She was supposed to be getting the push that she didn't necessarily get in WWE. She's been in AEW over a year and a half, and she has not won a single championship.
Yup.
She's been in the conversation, no championship. We know that Jade Cargill has left the company and is in WWE and is being treated as the star that she is. She's still learning the WWE road of what to do, how to operate the WWE style. And while she's learning, they are showcasing her as if she is a movie star. Look at what Jade Cargill did. Oh, Jade Cargill ate at this restaurant. Oh, Jade is at this signing. Oh, Jade is going to be on NXT. She's going to be on Raw. She's going to be on SmackDown. Who's going to sign her? We don't know. But they're giving her that attention. Name me a wrestler on the women's roster in AEW that's getting that exact same kind of treatment. The closest we have to that is Timeless Toni Storm, which, as far as I'm concerned, the single greatest aspect of the women's division in AEW. I love that gimmick.
That's the only thing Tony got right. That's insane.
And the attention to the women's division is nowhere near what the WWE is doing now. Now, true, the WWE has not necessarily been great to the women's division, even in recent months. But that speaks more to, I think, the WWE and their bloodline problem, as far as they are completely obsessed with having the bloodline. And there's so many different factions that have been birthed from the bloodline, i.e., we have the bloodline itself, that I say bloodline prime. Then you say, okay, what's going on next? We have the Judgment Day, which is the emo bloodline, where everybody's wearing dark makeup and everybody's brooding and has an attitude problem. Imperium, even. That's like
German
the
bloodline.
European German Das bloodline, if you will.
Don't forget
Then you got
Schism. Don't forget Schism in
Yes.
in NXT,
exactly.
which is the co-bloodline.
Yes, and then you have Damage Control, which would be Estrogen Bloodline, which is nothing more than, and I don't mean any disrespect in that, but what I'm saying is, if you're looking at it from the standpoint of all of the factions that Triple H has in his company, you're looking at it from, there's always the dynamic that there's somebody in each group that may get kicked out, or there's some kind of drama involved, which true brings more attention to certain parts of that faction. But it's like, that's literally the whole company is all factions, and are they going to break up? So
the crazy part is that all of them are heel factions, so it's just like,
yes.
Like,
yes.
geez.
And this plays into the thought process of what we talked about in the previous segment with Sasha Banks coming back. It's starting to slowly but surely look like Damage Control is being broken apart.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that when we get to the War Games part of the review. But it's like they've been hinting that Bayley is going to be kicked out. And they're going to start some kind of maybe a faction war between this current form of Damage Control and maybe Bayley and some group of wrestlers that she may get. Wouldn't it make sense if there is a returning Sasha Banks to team up with her best friend Bayley, iron out the stuff that happened when they were a team before they got into that feud that they had before Sasha left, and then reform some version of the Four Horsewomen and have a feud with Damage Control? That's the part of the dynamic that I was talking about. So if we're going to have Sasha come back in, it plays into a lot of the different things, a lot of the different stews that are on the burner right now that the WWE has.
Well, we just gotta wait and see them, peeps.
Yes. See how I actually just brought that full circle in just that one little Venn diagram. That's the constant with all of them.
Only Peep Snake. You gotta yo, tell Peep Snake she deserves a pat on the back because it's 15 inches away from a kick in the rear. Honestly, Peep Snake.
There you
take
go.
Him out, man.
Yes.
Take him out.
There you go.
From there, we move to Hot Rod 316. He says this is kind of tying into the AEW topic that we were just talking about.
Okay.
Do you think the AEW devil is Jack Perry or Britt Baker or Morton's Law or someone else? Crazy. Wow. Morton's Law.
Interesting.
Dang it, Mr. 4-on-1. How did you get into this?
But we digress.
First group
that's number 3. Man. That's number 3 on the day. Go figure.
Jeez. But from there, guys, how many times I have to say this? I'm giving you guys info. Don't you forget. You see, before I even answer this question, I'm just gonna get to the 2 comments that I have here from Long Island Isaiah and Tombstone City Adam. He's like, Long Island Isaiah, he says, Phenomenal One has done it again. Cody, then Bray, now Punk. Give this man his flowers. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, there you go.
From there, Tombstone City Adam. P1 is Forensic Files' new host. I'm calling it.
Yes. There you go.
I does this, peeps. I does this. So if we're gonna go ahead and go down this line again, I'm gonna tell you who the devil is. It's Adam Cole, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna say it now, okay? The Masked Men, already speaking. Roderick, O'Reilly, and the Kingdom. Okay? Those are already 4 men. The one person that they're not showing on camera, of course, the devil. You have the Masked Men who are already about to go ahead and attack MJF.
Yes.
Why isn't the devil there as well? Because
maybe the devil is laid up.
Easily. He can't get in the ring that easily. Guys, the devil is Adam Cole, baby. Jesus, who's ready for story time? I'm telling you, I'm giving you the keys to the city, and you guys are not listening. It's not rocket science. It's not delusion. It's the Let me stop. Okay, that's a it's not paranoia.
There you go. There you go.
I'm not. Let me not do that.
Yes.
But guys, yes.
There you go.
I'm telling you, Devil's Adam Cole, Masked Men, O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom. Easily put. We'll find out at World's End if it is, because I'm telling you the truth. I'm standing behind that. I've been standing behind that because notice.
But we've all been saying this for the longest time, for the most part, give or take here or there, but for the most part, that's been the feeling going forward.
Yes. So if you guys look, mark it again today, December 2nd, 2023. By December 30th, 2023, if we find out that it's Adam Cole, I promise you, all of you have to go ahead and write up a petition, sign it, and send it to the people at ID or HLN, the people who now have forensic files in his library.
Yes, HLN. There you go.
HLN,
yes.
Go ahead and tell them.
It's a Warner Brothers Discovery entity. That's all it is. So that means you be working for Tony Khan.
He'd be working for me. Okay. Ain't no person out here working for Tony Khan. Peeps. I would rather pull Sting's. Like, I would rather go ahead and pull the segments that Sting pulls. Or the spots that Sting pulls where he jumps off a guard railing at an arena into 4 tables before I work for Tony Khan. I would rather wrestle with a broken freaking neck than work for Tony Khan.
Well, you want to know, at this point, there are a lot of wrestlers that have gotten close to doing that. You know, Ricky Starks actually did that. He broke his neck about a year and a half ago, knowing AEW's died. So forget about that.
And Dante Martin with his ankle.
The fact that they showed that again. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, peeps, no thank you. But yeah, tell the people at HLN to revamp the forensic files and then add me as the host, because I'm telling you, I got a ton of money. I'm telling you, this is there you go. But from there, that pretty much marks the questions for Same Today, guys. Of course, we appreciate the questions. We thank you. These were great. We love them. You want to send in more? There's only one way to do it. DM us on Instagram once again at Saturday Afternoons _main event. DM the question. It will be featured on the next episode of the show. And from there, we go into the last topic of today's show.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, War Games was last week. I had the courtesy of sitting down with the Peeps H, the Triple C, and Mr. 401 to catch this momentous occasion at David Buster's. We enjoyed ourselves. Yeah, we enjoyed ourselves. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But I have to say, there were some areas where the show lacked. There were some areas where the show was good.
Yes.
And then there were some areas where we were pissed off due to the fact that they only played the sound of the premium live event about 13 minutes. And then they went back to something else. I hated that. But you know what?
Yes.
It happens. I'll take it. It's okay. It's okay. But peeps, for what it is, we've seen a good amount of it to be at least good. And we're only going to go ahead and get into some of the matches, not all of them.
Yes. I mean, there were only 3. I mean, it was a 3 singles match sandwich between 2 War Games cage matches.
True, but it's like, are we going to sit there and talk? Because look, let's get the cool 3 out the way, okay?
Yes.
Santos and Dragon Lee, that was great. I don't feel
that was a really good match. Yes.
They didn't get enough time to go ahead and showcase the rest of the talent they could have.
I wonder why. There you go.
There you go. Exactly. But you know what? For what it was, I liked it.
Yes.
Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Starks.
And you know how much I marked out for Zoe Stark. But that wasn't going to... We know what that was.
We knew
nobody believed Zoe was going to...
Ain't nobody beating mommy. Let's be for real here.
No.
That's not happening yet, okay? That is not happening yet. So, from there, we move to what? First War Games match then? We could just go ahead and do the first War Games match? And then we'll get into the... Okay. Peeps. These women, slobber knocker. Amazing. Io Sky, I promise you, peeps, I will go ahead and show these matches, these women War Games matches to my children. I promise that. And when I show them to my children, I promise you, they will love the Io Sky spot so much that for Halloween, they will be like, Daddy, I don't want to be a ladybug. I don't want to be a Disney princess. I want to be Io Sky and give me a trash can. I just want to put it on my head and walk around. Io Sky with that spot once more. I love it.
Yes.
Having Bailey be the odd one out, Say, listen, this is a great way to go ahead and start building the story. But of course, we know that the women went ahead and won. Of course, the team of Bianca Belair, Shotzi Blackheart, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch, which was a crazy enough. The minute that they hugged, peeps,
Yes.
Hey, listen, that was nice. But look, looking at it now, we know Bayley's getting singled out, and we can obviously see it since last night on SmackDown.
Yes.
How
Yes.
they didn't include her into the beginning of the show. How you sat there and you saw them going ahead and getting mad at Bayley for what? She said that she didn't know. You guys already leaving her out the group chat? That's what we're doing over here. And then Dakota Kai taking up the mantle that Bayley had left out.
Yes.
Babes, this is cinema. Okay,
Yes.
let's put it
Yes.
like that. Cinema. Okay, this is cinema. For what it is, I like the way that they structured the match.
Yes.
I like the storytelling within the match. It was solid. What were your thoughts, Beeps?
It was really good. They put it like this. The story was crafted in such a way that everybody that had something to do with somebody else, it made sense when they interacted with each other. And it also goes to show you that Charlotte Flair doing a Kurt Angle moonsault off the top of the cage was almost ho-hum compared to the rest of the stuff that happened in the match. Because during a normal wrestling extravaganza where somebody does a high spot like a moonsault 20 feet off the top of a cage, that it would be looked at as something. We know Charlotte can do that all day, every day. The issue is she only does those spots in matches where it makes sense to. And in a match like that, of course. But she did it, and she got up on her feet, and she got up and she started to get to the crowd and bring the cheering on. And everybody looked at it, was like, okay, we know you can do that. Let's get back to the rest of the match. Like, wow. That goes to show you how good the War Games match was. If that high spot was just nothing more than icing on a cake and not the actual cake itself. Yes, it was good.
It was good. It was good. Not even a cherry on the top, though.
Yes.
I'll tell you what the cherry on the top was, and it was this one singles match. And of course, you know what match I'm talking about. Gunther versus The Miz.
There you go.
Peeps, we all knew The Miz wasn't winning.
Yes.
But you know what? Peeps,
Mhm.
those guys, they put up a fight.
Yes.
And I loved it.
And in all reality, of the 3 sandwich matches, that was by far the best of the 3. Because Walter does so much at his size to dominate everybody there. And The Miz was believable enough, especially toward the end of the match, that you thought, wait a minute, is he actually going to potentially go over? And then we would look at each other like, nah, he's not going to go over. And then there was that 2 count that was almost a 3 count that Walter just got up and said, oh, shoulders. Like, what? Like, you got to be kidding me. And everybody looked at it like that. That was close. But see, that's what you have to do as a champ to build the believability of your opponent. You see, if you book somebody to be an also-ran, somebody that is annoying, somebody that no one cares about, when they get into the match, no one is going to care whether or not the match is good or if it's believable. But they built the story up in such a way that it was believable that, you know what, nobody's taking me seriously here. I main evented WrestleMania. I did all of these things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Walter said the best thing that he did when on that same Monday Night Raw after he said he wanted a rematch, he said, you've proven you can do well in the ring. You just can't do well in the ring against me. And just walked off. That's the story being told with The Miz. That story going into that match worked perfectly because no one, let's really be honest, no one is expecting The Miz to win.
Exactly.
But a lot of people thought, because we've seen comedy Miz get into the ring and have some bad matches, we've also seen the same Miz have that match from Monday Night Raw a few months ago with Seth Rollins, and that be the match of the night. We've seen the same Miz have a match with Logan Paul and have one of the best matches at WrestleMania.
Don't forget the
So
match.
we know he can
Yeah.
have these kinds of matches.
Exactly. So it's like, honestly, Miz, what a showcase.
Yes,
Gunther,
yes,
Christ have mercy, as you said that night. Nick Bockwinkel. Literally
Yes.
Bockwinkel. Literally
Yes.
Bockwinkel. And
yes.
it's like,
And
reason being that it's not always finishing the match with the same move.
exactly.
Always having a different move to it. Having to end on a Boston Crab like that. Oh,
Yes.
Jesus Christ, like a lion tape. It was good. It was good.
Yes.
It was good. But from there, move to the last match, the men's war game match. The
Yes.
team of Cody Rhodes, the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, the Yeet Man, Jey Uso,
Yes.
and the returning Viper, Randy Orton, versus
Yes.
the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
Peeps, everything leading into that match was great. I was dumb enough to say to myself, what if they attempt to cash in? And I thought I was on the money with it too, and you guys started gassing me up. Because
Yes.
you, I'm sitting there, minding my damn business. I'm like, what if they cash in? No, they wouldn't do that here. Out of nowhere. Instead of waiting for Randy, there is no Randy. Out comes Rhea Ripley with the briefcase. Then for some
Yes.
reason, all three of you guys, oh my God, Rich,
Oh, you
you were
serious?
right. You were
Yeah.
right. Oh my God. And you had me look up to the TV, and I'm like, oh my God, I was right again. And then out comes Randy Orton. They're like, not so much. I was just like,
Yes.
this is what happens when you guys get beat up. No longer will I sit there and take whatever you guys go ahead and throw at me. I kid you not. No, I'm
Yes.
keeping my mouth shut because you guys ruined it for me. But guys, this match, great. It was amazingly great. The spots were amazing.
Yes.
The Yeet Squad actually pulled it off.
Yes.
Please, no skeets this time.
Oh.
But guys, that RKO,
Yes.
it hit like crack. It hit like crack. And I wasn't even around for the 80s. Guys,
Yes.
seeing Randy Orton back, hitting RKOs, hitting the DDTs, all on a surgically repaired back
Yes.
is insane. And it's hearing that he's saying that he wants to be around for 10 more years. 2033, peeps.
Well, if you think about it, the first thing that I noticed when he came out is, good Lord, he looks like a robot, because he put on at least 20 pounds of muscle.
You know what I saw? I saw a meme that said, oh my God, Randy Orton, 8-pack, abs,
Yeah.
pectoral muscles as big as Triple H. Guys, the WWF is back. And I was just like, I hate you guys.
Yes.
I said, oh my God, he's on the Aaron Rodgers stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever Aaron Rodgers is on to completely throw spirals and get back to practice now, it's the same thing Randy Orton is on to remove a surgically repaired back, repair himself, and then be on those type of steroids.
Yes.
Steroids. Steroids. Okay, steroids.
He is jacked. And to see how and as you said, there have been some memorable RKOs. Two of them come to mind for me. The RKO that he did to Matt Sydal when he was Evan Bourne, when he was doing the shooting star press and just came out of nowhere and hit him with the RKO. And then, of course, the other one at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. We all know that when he just stepped off his back, shot him in the air, and dropped him on his face.
So much. See, you guys talk about that one so much, but mind you, those ones ended in 3 counts.
Yes.
The one that I always look towards, and I will never forget, is Mania 21 against The Undertaker.
Okay.
Countering a choke slam into an RKO.
Yes.
Making people believe that the streak was actually over with that one RKO. Peeps, listen. And that was the first time I ever heard an RKO out of nowhere from Michael Cole. Peeps, that for me will forever stand tall. But But now when you think, that one will always stay true, because now you sit there and you're just like, this one wasn't out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This one was just prepared for, but we love
Yes.
it.
Yes.
A JD McDonough trying to escape the cage.
Yes.
Onto those metal pipes that I noticed that they did it. There was no need for having them. But now I see why they needed them.
Yes.
Having Seth and Sammy on both ends of the cage, dropping JD while you have Randy Orton preparing himself, just looking up as if he's looking at a Thanksgiving feast that he forgot to have 3 nights before.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Cracking the neck, getting ready, and the minute he drops, peeps, that was a long fall. Because I just saw...
Yes.
I felt as if I was watching Hiroshima in real time.
It literally looked like somebody threw someone's sofa out of the window. Like the way he just fell straight down. Like there goes the sofa, and there goes the pillows. There goes the igloo.
It looked like Rikishi falling off the Hell in a Cell during that 6-man match.
Yes, and just as fast.
Exactly.
Yes.
All you saw was Randy actually making contact the minute he had to make contact with the RKO.
Yes. Yes.
I felt
and his reactions that I thoroughly enjoy is when he hits the RKO, when he gets up and he looks at the crowd. You know, it's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of somebody hitting a 3-pointer and leaving the hand up there. Like, I know I made it. I know I made it. Yes.
It's like he does a whole victory lap, and it's kind of like he breaks character for a little bit because he goes straight to Cody, and they have a little bromance moment where they're just dabbing up each other and stuff.
Yes.
And for me, it's the ending of the match, but everybody's just happy together. And then you have Sammy and Jay having to do the old little bloodline handshake.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is great. Peeps, this match proved to be something special.
Yes.
And honestly, I wouldn't be mad if we don't go back to traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series.
So if this is the permanent format for the Survivor Series.
If War Games is permanent, God love it. I want it back.
Because now they would have to build. They would have to build now. It's a responsibility that you have to now build a storyline that makes sense to pull in 4 or 5 wrestlers in to have that War Games. Similar to the issue that they were having with Money in the Bank, where you had to kind of figure out a way, because you're going to have a men's Money in the Bank match and a women's Money in the Bank match. Similar to what they're doing now with the Elimination Chamber. So now you have to build storylines on both sides that are compelling enough to warrant having a violent match like that, as opposed to just throwing a bunch of guys in there just saying, okay, well, it's 5 jobbers versus 5 mid-carders. Throw them in a cage and let them go have at it. No, it's not going to be like that. They have to be top-tier storylines where the tension is palpable. You can see the tension between all of the participants and do it that way.
Yup. I mean, peeps, we have so much to be happy for. We have so much to be thankful for.
Yes.
Survivor Series is done. The end of premium live events for the WWE is done. Of course, with Deadline.
For the exception of
Deadline. Yes. But anything on the main roster is done for up until next year. So now we have the Rumble to look forward to.
Yes.
Peeps. Any early predictions now on your Rumble winner? Just now. Because now we have time for this. Do we have a predictable, okay, this person's gonna win it, this is how it's gonna go? Like, what are we seeing?
Well, Cody won the Rumble last year. Do we see Cody pulling a back-to-backer? I could say that the odds would be in his favor. Would there be a dark horse involved? Maybe you throw in CM Punk, or maybe you throw in somebody else that's going to win on the other side, because the winner of the Royal Rumble doesn't necessarily have to be the one that's going to main event that WrestleMania, because the main event storyline for the championship on the other brand could then main event night 2. So it's going to depend on what it is. I think the main storyline beat is going to be, is it going to be Cody finishing his story against Roman? But now you got that extra wrinkle going in there with Charles Montgomery Punk. Exactly. What is he going to do? Whose side is he going to be on? Is he going to be on SmackDown? Is he going to be on Raw? Are the 2 GMs going to bid over who's going to be, like they did last night at SmackDown, where Randy Orton basically said, you know what? I'm signing here on SmackDown. Oh, by the way, I'm going to RKO the GM anyway to let you know I am a Viper, you know? So, yes.
Well, peeps, honestly, for me, look, there's so many ways you can go with it. But I honestly sit here and look at it like this. WrestleMania 23. The winner of the Royal Rumble was The Undertaker. Did he main event that WrestleMania? No, it was Shawn Michaels. Person that was second in place. The following year, Cena won the Rumble. Did he main event? No. It was Taker and Edge. Of course, couple WrestleManias after that. Move over. Peeps, you see where I'm getting? Like, it's
of course
not like they're always gonna go ahead and main event the show. Shows.
Yes.
So look, I don't think Cody's winning this year. With that being said, I don't think Cody's winning because Cody can. You know what? I think Cody gets his shot at Roman Reigns through the Elimination Chamber.
And see, that's the other thing that the WWE does. They give themselves a storyline out to explain why what was supposed to happen, set in stone from the Royal Rumble, can then have kind of like a second chance, kind of like a release valve to help somebody else out later on. Because that's why a lot of people look at WrestleMania and they're like, okay, something didn't happen at WrestleMania, so what do? They turn to the night after WrestleMania. That's why usually the Raw after WrestleMania is the biggest show that they do, not just storyline wise, but also looking at the audience and, oh wow, what happened? What did I miss? Oh, something is about to happen, and that's what the mindset is going to be. You don't necessarily have to win the Rumble to main event WrestleMania, and you also necessarily don't have to lose to not be included. So I think that is the storyline dynamic that I think is the most intriguing going forward.
Exactly right. Of course, it would be crazy enough to see CM Punk win the Royal Rumble because, of course, didn't he go ahead and say something to MJF along the lines of, yeah, go ahead and go to the other side since you think the grass is greener and go ahead and main event night one of a buy four and get one free.
Yes.
Peeps, can you imagine CM Punk winning the Rumble main eventing night one of WrestleMania after you just said that?
Exactly.
Jesus.
And I think that is why this storyline is so intriguing, because the facade of the layers of the onion being peeled away will be the storyline that they go with CM Punk. Is he really as believable and as true to heart as he's saying with all of the stuff of I'm home? Or is the real dynamic, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money? That's what I think is the dichotomy of, are we going to go here or are we going to go there? And if we don't go either way, is it somewhere in the middle? Like Bill Alfonso used to do, right down the middle. Right down the middle, baby. Right there. There you go.
Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end for Same Today.
Yes.
Of course, we have had fun.
Yes.
We've done so much with you guys. We appreciate everybody tuning in, whether you were on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. Sometimes
we have too much fun that's legally allowed. That's for sure.
What are you telling peeps? Jeez. But look, guys, we'll be back here next week for episode 18, and then episode 19, and episode 20, which would be the end for season 6. But guys, look, we still have 2 more episodes to go, about 3. So look, we're taking our time with it. We appreciate everything that you guys have done.
Yes.
What you guys continue to do. And we will continue to sing our praises with you guys. Of course, remember, you guys want to go ahead and follow for the latest news. You guys want to go ahead and DM us questions. You know, all you got to do is just follow us on Instagram at Saturday Afternoons _main event. And on Twitter at Saturday Main. But guys, with that being said, there's a lot on this episode of Saturday Afternoons Main Event, right, peeps?
Yes, we did.
Well, with that being said, on this episode of Saturday Afternoons Main Event, I, the Phenomenal One.
And I, the Peeps Nate. Remember, we came.
We saw.
And in the words of the wise man, Paul Heyman, we conquered.
We conquered, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week for episode 18. It's the Phenomenal One. This is Peeps Nate. It's Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. Signing off. Peace. Love. Farewell.